Good morning, everyone. This is Teacher Joanna, and I will be your teacher in science. Okay? So now, before we start our lesson, let us first have these words. Everyone, let us read. Deforestation. Okay? Again, deforestation. Next, we have migration. Everyone, let us read. Migration. And then we have hibernation. Everyone, let us read. Hibernation. And then we have savanna. Everyone, let us read savanna. So everyone, the words are deforestation, migration, hibernation, and savanna. Now, do you know the meaning of the words? Okay, so let us know the meaning of the words, everyone. When we say deforestation, this is the permanent destruction of the forest in order to make the land available for other uses. That is deforestation. Do you understand? And when we say migration, traveling in long distance in search for new habitat. That is migration. And when we say hibernation, a time when animals sleep through cold weather, that is hibernation. And when we say savanna, that is a grassland scattered with shrubs and isolated trees. Okay, so those are the meaning of the words. Now today, we are going to talk about animals that live on land or in water. So what are we going to talk about today? The animals that live on land or in water. So what do you want to learn? So what are the animals that live on land? What else? What are the animals that live in water? So we are going to answer those questions at the end of this lesson. Now, are you ready to listen? Okay, very good. So if you are ready to listen, then sit up straight, eyes on me and ears on me. And let's start our lesson. Now, let's talk about the animals that live on land and in water. Okay? So I want you to remember that animals are found almost everywhere. Okay? Everywhere you can see an animal. Okay, so a habitat, I want you to know that a habitat is where animals live. It is the place where they breathe, and find food, water, and shelter. So that is habitat. So what is habitat? Okay, the place where animals live. It is the place where they breathe, and find food, water, and shelter. Okay? So, the animals that live in a particular habitat are called communities. So, what do we call the animals that live in a particular habitat? That is community. Very good. So when we say community, those are the animals that live in a particular habitat. Now let's talk about the animals that live on land habitats. First, let's have the rainforest animals. Okay? The first one is the rainforest. Now, Philippine forests are inhabited by different kinds of animals, wild and tame alike. A wide variety of mammals, birds, insects, and reptiles can be found in this particular habitat. Now, these animals survive in forests because it is their natural home. Now, these are the examples of the animals in the rainforest. We have the gorillas, orangutans, okay, some species of frogs. We have the cheetah, the python, the sloth, and we have that bird, okay? Some birds, okay? So we have many species of birds that lives in the rainforest. So those are just some of the examples of rainforest animals. And then let's have the second one, the desert animals. So remember that desert is a harsh environment with very little rainfall and extreme temperature. Now many desert animals are nocturnal. Teacher, what is nocturnal? Nocturnal are the animals that stay deep underground in burrows like antelope, squirrel, bobcat, and coyote. Okay, so some desert animals have concentrated their body's fat in one place. Okay, such as a hump or a tail, okay, rather than having it all throughout the body. Now, this fat increase their body heat. Okay, so these are some of the desert animals. We have the camel, South African lion. Okay, we have the ostrich, coyote. Okay, the desert tortoise. Okay, there are insects also, scorpions, lizards. We have the snakes, golden eagle. Okay, we have the desert cottontail. Okay, we have the desert sheep, and we have the kit fox. So those are just some example of desert animals. Okay, and then let us proceed to mountain animals. Now, mountain animals are in mountain. Remember that in mountains, mountain is a challenging environment for animals to live in, with the presence of steep cliffs and barren rocks, scarce vegetation, and extreme temperature. Now, there are three ways on how animals deal with extreme cold conditions. So they either hibernate, migrate, or they seek shelter under the ground or snow. So these are some of the animals in the mountain. Most of them are in the families of sheep. Okay, but we also have rabbits, and then we have birds. Okay. So those are the mountain animals. And then let's proceed to grassland animals. Now, the grassland, also known as savanna, are areas where vegetation is dominated by grass plants, which become a natural habitat of a large number of animals living on it. So there is vegetation here in grassland. So here are some of the animals in grassland. We have the bear, elephant, zebra, cheetah, beetle. We have the gazelle, we have the worm, the lion, and the deer. So those are just some of the examples of grassland animals. Do you understand me? So inland, we have the desert, mountain, rainforest, and grassland. Okay? So now, let's proceed to animals that live in water habitats. Now, water is also a habitat for great variety of animals. Now, animals that live in water habitat are called aquatic animals. So, what do we call the animals that live in water habitat? We call them as aquatic animals. Now, these are groups of animals that are either vertebrates or invertebrates. Okay, that live in water most or all of their life. Now, the aquatic environment is divided into two types, namely the seawater or marine environment and the freshwater environment. So, in water habitat, we only have two: the seawater environment or the marine environment, and the freshwater environment. Do you understand? Now, animals that live in water habitats, the salt water. So different kinds of animals live in salt water. This includes the fish, turtle, dolphin, saltwater crocodile, and whales. So those are the examples. Okay, so most of the fishes lives in salt water. And then when we say fresh water, everyone, these are the animal species that lives in streams, rivers, and lakes. Okay, so remember that streams, rivers, and lakes are fresh water. Okay, so they live in this kind of water form. So they live in either stream, river, or lakes. Okay, so again, animals that live in water habitats, we only have two: the salt water or marine environment and the freshwater environment. So in animals that live on land, we have rainforest, desert, grassland, okay, and mountain. Okay, so I have here questions. What are the where do animals live? So we have on land and in water. So on land, we have the rainforest animal, the desert animal, the mountain animal, and the grassland animal. So in water habitat, we have the saltwater or marine environment and the freshwater environment. Now, what did you learn today? Today we have learned about animals that live on land and in water. Okay, so animals that live on land can either live in the rainforest, mountain, desert, and grassland. So in water on the other hand, we have the saltwater or marine environment and the freshwater environment. So if you really did understand the lesson, then let us proceed to your practice exercise wherein you're going to give the habitat of animals that live on land. That is your practice exercise, and here is your evaluation. Give the habitat of animals that live in water. Okay? So that is your practice exercise and your evaluation. So don't forget to answer your practice exercise and your evaluation because I'm going to check it. Do you understand? Okay, and here is your assignment. What are the animals that live on land and water? Give 3 animals each. Now, don't forget to do your assignment. Okay? So, thank you for listening. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.